I request Honorable Justice Pardiwala to address the members of the bar and share his feelings with us. Please, sir.
Honorable Justice Vikram Nathji, my esteemed sister, Honorable Ms. Bella Trivedi, esteemed by the leader of the bar, my esteemed brother and sister judges of the High Court, Manisha Ben, learned senior and junior members of the bar, my beloved wife Jasmine, she is also here. Ladies and gentlemen, Asim Bhai, pardon me, I will not be able to speak as fluently as you spoke in Gujarati. So let me address the august audience in my own way. You have done me a great honor by inviting me here in this evening. I feel overwhelmed by your kind words and sentiments, which have all the warmth behind them, and I am unable to find words to thank you adequately for the same. You said so many things about me, but let me tell you all that I have done is that I have tried to fulfill my constitutional oath. That's it. I have not done anything extraordinary. And my endeavor in the new assignment also will be to do my best to fulfill my constitutional oath. That is the most important thing. On this occasion, I want to share with you all 3 events that took place in my life and which had a lot of bearing so far as my personal life is concerned, my professional career as a lawyer is concerned, and also as a judge of this High Court. You all know I hail from Valsad. Valsad is a small town in South Gujarat, quite popular enough. I did my law from Valsad. From January 1989, I started my practice at Valsad with my father. At the relevant point of time, my father was very much active in practice. He was one of the leading lawyers in the district of Valsad. Valsad was a district, but the district and sessions court was at Navsari. Navsari was not a district. So every Friday we used to go to Navsari to attend matters before the district and sessions judge. I worked with my father for about 1 year. But within 1 year I realized that things are going to be very difficult for me in the trial court. And my father could make it out that my son is not comfortable over here. So there's no point in asking him to just continue. One day, he said, think of going to the High Court. Consider it. So I started thinking on this suggestion of my father. In June 1990, I had to travel to Ahmedabad for some personal work. So my father made it a point to ensure that I meet Mr. K.J. Shetna, the Don of the bar. I remember it was Saturday morning. Shetna Sahib, as we all lovingly remember him today, was busy with his clients. And he cordially welcomed me, spoke to me for about an hour. But all throughout that meeting, he kept on observing me. What kind of boy this Jamshed is. How good he can be a lawyer. How well he would perform in the High Court. Couple of days thereafter, to my surprise, I received one inland letter. You all remember that blue-colored inland letter? That inland letter was dictated by Shetna Sahib to his stenographer, whom later I came to know he was one Mr. Darji. Shetna Sahib used to maintain registers of his letters. Mr. Hon'ble would know it better, Mr. Kavina would know it better. This letter which I received is a typed letter dated 18th of July 1990, Parsi letter number 97 of 1990. First thing I did after reading is I got it framed because it's a prized possession for me. The dictated part says that you must come to the High Court, you must start your practice over here, don't worry about anything. And after putting his signature, he thought fit to write 3 lines in his own handwritings. I would like to share what Shetna Sahib wrote in his own handwritings in this letter of 18th July 1990. He has written, Sadharan rite, 3 pedi pachi dhando badlai છે. અપવાદ રૂપે તું ચોથી પેઢીએ એ જ ધંધામાં છે. કદાચ એવું પણ બને કે પ્રેક્ટિસમાં ઝડપથી રૂ મેળવી તું ઊંચી પાયડીનો જજ બની નામના મેળવી કોમનું ગૌરવ વધારે અને દેશની અને માનવતાની સેવા કરે. May God bless you. For the benefit of my Lord Justice Vikram Nath ji and Chief Justice Arvind Kumar ji, I may translate it. Ordinarily, after 3 generations, the business would get changed. However, as an exception, even as a 4th generation, you are in the same business. It may happen that you may earn a good name as a lawyer and become a judge of the high ideals and enhance the pride of our community and serve the country and humanity. God bless you. It was 21st of September 1990. I came lock, stock and barrel from Valsad to start a new life. Time passed by. I started doing reasonably well in practice. The bar, the bench, the litigating class started recognizing me as a criminal side lawyer, but I used to practice in all branches except tax, which of late just Mr. Soparkar taught me a little. I used to work from my residence. Mr. Kishore Anandjiwala, one of the respected members of the bar, and I see him as a fatherly figure. He insisted that I should sit in his office. Kishore Bhai is also here today. It's a very nostalgic moment for me because I am reminiscent of all those good old days. And I am really grateful to him from the bottom of my heart for all the love and affection he showered. My becoming a judge was more of an adventure. In 2005, for the first time at the age of 40, I was recommended by the then college. But it took almost 5 years, ultimately, for the name to be cleared. 5 years is a long time, so far as waiting is concerned. And it started taking a very heavy toll on my family life, my practice. So one fine day, early in the morning at about 6 o'clock, I called up my stenographer, Devendra Bhai Pandya, who also happens to be the stenographer of Kishore Bhai Anandjiwala. I said, please come home. I want to dictate a short letter to you. So he came. I started dictating a letter addressed to the then Chief Justice, Justice Mukhopadhyay. I said in my letter that it is an honor that the Collegium has recommended me for elevation. But time has passed by. And if at all I am still under consideration, please let me withdraw. I remember Devendra Bhai telling me, Jamshed Bhai, are you sure what you are doing? I said, yes, I'm sure. So he typed out the letter. And sharp at 10:30, I reached the chamber of the Chief Justice to hand over that letter. I was a standing counsel also at that point of time of the High Court. So I inserted my hand to take out that letter and Justice Mukhopadhyay started talking. You all know when he talks, the world has to listen. He talked. He never allowed me to take out that letter from my coat pocket. It was 10:55. He said, it's time for both of us to go to the court. The hand remained in my pocket. I was not able to take out that letter. And with that hand in my pocket, I walked out of the chamber. Destiny had something else in store for me. Couple of days thereafter, I came to be elevated on 17th of February 2011, along with my esteemed sister, Justice Trivedi. This is the second event. And the third event I want to share with you all. From day one, I had the honor and privilege to work in the first court. For first 8 months, I worked with Justice Mukhopadhyay. 2 months thereafter with the acting Chief Justice, Justice A.L. Dave. And then came a person from Calcutta as the Chief Justice, whom I believe he doesn't belong to this universe. He comes from some another planet. So, Justice Bhaskar Bhattacharya came to Gujarat, and I was informed that I have to sit with him. I have to continue in the first court. It was my first day. His Lordship inquired about my family, my professional career. Then he put me a question. What is your age, brother? I said 45. So 17 years of tenure. Then spontaneously he said, an ambitious judge is a more dangerous judge than a breathtaking judge. took the courage to ask him, sir, you remember on the first day you made this statement. What were you trying to convey to me? He said, brother, when I became a judge in 1997, I had a tenure of more than 16 years. In the morning of my oath, my father, who was also a judge of the Calcutta High Court, but from service cadre, came to wish me, and he said, Bhaskarda, don't start thinking from day one, when will you become the Chief Justice of any High Court? When will you go to the Supreme Court? Because an ambitious judge is a more dangerous judge than a bribe-taking judge. Ambition can lead a judge to do anything. Therefore, what my father had conveyed to me, I am conveying it to you. These words got embedded in my mind. With the cooperation of the bar, I started my new career as a judge of the High Court. Ladies and gentlemen, administration of justice is a very solemn duty, and it demands wholehearted devotion. The task of judge is not an easy one. If you ask me, if any one of you may ask me, what is judgeship all about? My answer would be very simple. Judgeship is not all about social status or honor or power or security or a big chair to sit on or other privileges, but it carries with it a huge, huge, huge sense of responsibility. Personally, I feel that the job of an advocate is comparatively simple, and in as much as he has to place the facts and the law before the judge, and his duty ends by saying all that can be said in support of his client, it is then for the judge to exert himself to get to the truth and arrive at just conclusion. I am saying so, and I am saying all this to you because some of you may be looking forward to a career on the bench. Let me tell you with all humility at my command that the life of a judge is not a bed of roses, as it may appear from a distance, because he has to exert a lot and keep his mind under discipline to ensure real and substantial justice. I believe that the only thing a judge deserves is a good night's sleep after a long, grueling day, hard day's work. I had a very good time serving this institution for a period of more than 11 years. I have enjoyed the privilege of working under eminent Chief Justices who have been very kind and considerate to me. Two of those are very much here before us, Justice Vikramnath and Justice Arvind Kumarji. The High Court of Gujarat is fortunate to have Justice Arvind Kumarji as the Chief Justice, a true leader, a man with a vision. He wants to do something for the good of the administration of justice. And I would urge to all the members of the bar to extend your full cooperation in this regard. I have also enjoyed your cooperation and goodwill which I immensely value. What I'm going to tell you now is something very important. Remember that our identity is only because of this institution. Without this institution, we have no identity. The world is unkind because it forgets Don Bradman with the arrival of Vivian Richards, and in turn will forget Richards' weave with the coming of Sachin Tendulkar, and will forget Tendulkar also with the advent of King Virat Kohli. So judges will come and judges will go, but this institution is going to remain here for all times to come. Therefore, what is important is that no individual is and will ever be greater than the institution. You may be having your personal differences. You may be at inimical terms with each other. Your ideologies may differ. But when it comes to protecting the honor and dignity of this institution, always stand united and tall. Never allow anybody, any person to point a finger towards this institution. Never allow anyone to speak anything foul about this institution. Why I am saying so is the words of a very eminent jurist. The power of judiciary lies not in deciding cases, nor in imposing sentences, nor in punishing for contempt, but in the trust, confidence, and faith of the common man. This trust, confidence, and faith of a common man should not be shaken. And it is all in your hands. Mr. Pandya laid stress on rule of law. Yes, there are two major roles of a judge, more particularly in a vibrant democracy like India. First, to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, and secondly, to bridge the gap between the law and the society. This is what I wanted to share with you all. Today, when the bar, the members of the legal fraternity are honoring me, my family is equally entitled to this honor. Every bit of my success I owe to my wife, Jasmine. My two daughters, Tanya and Sia. It is her understanding, her support, her sacrifices, her trust, her confidence in all respects has made my journey so far up to this stage. So I'm really grateful to my wife who is present here, and she deserves a big round of applause. Junior members of the bar, there is no dearth of talent in you. Y'all are outstanding. One one thing that makes me very happy today is that I saw some of y'all while I was at the bar. I have seen you growing from infancy. When I was elevated, I saw you. 12 years have passed. Y'all have grown before my very eyes. Y'all are doing exceedingly well. No dearth of talent. But keep one thing in mind. Ability in you may take you to the top, but character will keep you at the top. And when I am talking about character, character is not all about honesty and sincerity. Character is about something which you tend to do wrong when you should do right when you are tempted to do the wrong. Thank you very much, Asim Bhai. Thank you very much to all of you for this honor. I will never forget this evening for the rest of my life.